For our second session of the day then, we have Same Classrooms, New Challenges, Making Sense of School After Acquired Brain Injury, featuring Gemma Costello, Dr. Emily Bennett, Victoria Lyon and Amelia Jones. So Gemma and Dr. Emily Bennett have a rich clinical experience of neuropsychology and rehabilitation, while Victoria and Amelia are part of the Young Experts by Experience of Brain Injury, and together they will share their own experience of returning to education after brain injury, offering practical insights and research to help families and schools work together. So please do welcome Gemma, Emily, Victoria and Amelia.
Good morning, everybody. It's really lovely to be here. We're excited to come and speak today. And we have our young people who represent our group speaking about their experiences going back into education after a brain injury. And they've got some top tips to hopefully help with that process as well. That's okay, you get your free water. That's pretty important. So just to give you a little bit of background about Enables, we're a group who are part of the UK Acquired Brain Injury Forum. We work closely with the All-Party Parliamentary Group for ABI as well. Our vision really is for young people with an ABI to receive the support that they need in school and to maximise their participation and their potential in education as a result of that. We know that that's something where there's big gaps at the moment. We aim to work with policymakers, with educational professionals and organisations to raise awareness and to support a better understanding of the needs of young people with an ABI in the education system.
Can you see who I am? Okay. Hi everyone, I am Amelia Jones. Hi. So less depressing. We have shared our stories in Westminster, I know, government, shocking, to advocate for those to advocate for change through the ABI strategy. And at the YEBEABI, which means All-Party Parliamentary Group, I know, big for mouthful, and roundtable events.
Hi, I'm Victoria. We care, we understand, we learn, we empower.
So before we hand over to you two to talk more about your experiences of education, this is our very literal umbrella term that we're kind of sharing with the Department for Education, with the APPG, and with teachers and educators when we're talking about acquired brain injury. We know we don't need to go into detail about this for you here, but we hope that it's a visual representation that can be useful to be able to help people to see and encompass the whole range of needs that we're thinking of when we're speaking about acquired brain injury. Our current kind of data estimates that there's roughly 40,000 children and young people who acquire brain injury in the UK every single year. And we know that that's to be a huge underestimation just due to the nature of our coding and our reporting when young people report to hospital, but also possibly not picking up some of our non-accidental injuries and also our concussion events, where many may manage those at home and more of a conservative approach and potentially don't present themselves to kind of A&E. So we know that there are these kind of the risks and the likelihood that these numbers are much higher. As a group, Enables have kind of looked at the data, and when we're thinking about that, what we perceive to be is that when we think about young people coming into education and reception across the country, what we believe is that roughly one child who starts in the reception year, by the time they've completed their education, will have acquired a brain injury. So these numbers are really big. And I guess, as Emily's described, our primary objective is to think about how we can kind of raise the awareness and understanding of acquired brain injury as this hidden need within our education system.
Hi, I am Amelia. As you can see, that was my photo. Honestly, I was like doing science, and Emily and Gemma asked for a photo. I thought, oh, cool, snap one now. Big mistake. So I actually had an arteriovenous malformation when I was 17. I used to love studying, I know, rowing, yeah, and having a laugh with my friends. Mainly the laugh with my friends was like the major one. I was aiming for Oxbridge, which is offers which is Oxford and Cambridge, and got mainly 8s and 9s in my GCSEs. I missed a year of school because I had to get sense of the world, because when I was in hospital, literally I thought hospital was the way that you lived. I didn't know that there was an outside place. To be honest, to me that was a far off dream. Then oh my God, and then words. And then I went back part-time in the summer of 2022 just to have a tester. And then I started school in, when did I school? Yes, then I started school in 2022. Yeah, so honestly, I went into year 12, which, to be honest, I knew loads of people from rowing, so honestly, that wasn't a problem for me. So one challenge for me was my A-level history teacher. Basically, he explained to the class what he wanted them to do. As I didn't have a laptop, I literally was there to listen and not to write. He was like, okay, write something down. I was like, sir, I can't. He was like, well, why not? Obviously, he wasn't explained what was wrong with me. One good thing was my Senkos. Honestly, I wish that all teachers were like Senkos, because honestly, I feel like they honestly get what you're going through. And my TA. My favourite was when my Senko asked how I was. Oh my God, when you are asked how you are, it makes the world a difference. How are you personally feeling? Because literally you worried about, I don't want to upset you. Have I upset you? No need to... Free water almost went. Honestly. Yeah. Honestly, no joke. If that free water went, I honestly would have left. Yeah, so literally being asked how you are, honestly, really nice.
Hi everyone, I'm Victoria. At the age of 13, I had my traumatic brain injury after being involved in a car accident. Before my brain injury, I was a very sporty and sociable person. I'm still the same person now, but I feel like my interests had to change. Before my accident, I was a massive rugby player and a big rower, but from that came boccia and wheelchair basketball, which I loved thoroughly. Being only 13, I hadn't obviously been through school really yet, so I was aiming for 7s, 8s and 9s in my GCSEs. I got 4s, 5s and 6s, which for me was great because I at least passed them all. I wanted to help in society growing up, so I wanted to be a police officer or in the army, but now I work on a stroke ward as a therapy assistant, and I find it really rewarding. One challenge I faced at school was communicating with my friends, because when I went back to school, I couldn't talk for nearly 2 years, so I had to talk via a laptop, which school provided me, and they thought would be best, but in reality, it just highlighted me as different than all my friends, so I rarely ever felt comfortable to use it in the classroom. And with my friends, it was cool almost, but I didn't find it cool for me, but they found it cool because I was able to have a laptop and they were able to take funny photos in classrooms. But for me, it just highlighted the difference that I faced. And one good thing at school was my Senko, Mrs. Watts. She came, when I was in rehabilitation, she came to visit me, so she really got to understand my injury and understand me. And she often knew what would work for me before I even did, which was really helpful for me, because she was able to offer me a safe person. She was my person to go to at school. And she was also able to offer me a safe space that I was able to go to at school. Whenever anything got too much, I was able to go there. And she was one of the ones that really advocated for me to have a reduced timetable, which for me at school really benefited me because it helped me manage my fatigue, and I was able to go to that safe space during those 3 lessons and just sit and be able to just breathe, really. Oh, yeah, it's me again. Sorry. At school, neurofatigue can be one of the main issues, in particular neurofatigue. As someone who experiences neurofatigue, this, as I know for many young people, can be extremely hard. What feels like a huge weight on your brain that you just can't seem to budge. One of the ways to help reduce neurofatigue in schools is through rest breaks, or as we like to call them, brain breaks. How you do this can depend from person to person. Sometimes it's just allowing you to have time to switch off your brain. For me, this was sometimes, for example, just going to my safe space and putting on some music and just being able to just chill and relax. Or for some people, getting ahead of lessons might help. So, for example, having your pre-printed lessons, that helps because then students are able to get ahead of what's going to be given to them, and so they're able to have more processing time. Others include, for example, like I've said, having a reduced timetable and having flexibility around your school day, and having a good work, but having a good school to outside life balance. So school isn't everything, although it is so at that age. But
as you can tell, me and Victoria are from England. So now I'm on social skills and communication. After having an acquired brain injury, my friends were all off at university. However, I was allowed to come back in 2021 for their leavers due. Are you being serious? After having an acquired brain injury, friends, red lorry, yellow lorry. Friends become your kryptonite. Like, if you don't have friends, then honestly, I know that, yeah, you've got your parents, but parents are honestly, like, not on the same level as you, shall I say. So, for 9 months, I was struggling without a support system. I didn't actually get a teacher support assistant until May, so that meant 9 months. Yes, sorry. I don't know why I just said that. After that, having support in class meant there was someone to take notes, remind me when I had homework due, and to make sure that I was revising. Yes, so young people know what they need and what needs to happen to make themselves better. Oh, bless you. Sorry, I just heard a sneeze. My manners, let's go, bless you. Sorry. Yeah, young people, some young people might need help to start communicating. Sorry, I have to do this. Some young people might need help to start conversations. I didn't, as I was a social butterfly, meaning literally I can talk to any of you about anything that you want to talk about and seem relatable. That's the type of person I am. However, I have very little friends, but honestly, they're close friends. Yeah, so just I'm saying for like other students, just like friends can like slow down the pace to make sure that they are following everything that is being said. That could honestly be like a major help, especially in a group. Yes, so now you two. Sorry about that, guys.
So having a hidden disability at school, I think at school this is probably, as a young person, this is one of the hardest things to get your head round. Because you look the same, you act the same, but deep down you know something's not quite as it was when you were at school before. Your body's running low on energy, your brain is struggling to clear through the fog just to think straight. People don't see these struggles, and therefore they don't acknowledge them. They don't acknowledge you're struggling deep down. Being lazy, always daydreaming, not trying hard enough, these are some of the things that people with an acquired brain injury get told. But this is not teachers being cruel. This is just a lack of understanding, lack of awareness, and importantly, a lack of training. For a child with an ABI, it might be little things that count, like regular check-ins with a teacher in a classroom, for example. As a child with a brain injury, we don't want to be highlighted as different.
No.
Just to have little check-ins is all that counts.
Yeah. Victoria actually had written notes. I got typed up paper that Gemma did for me. Just a highlight. So teachers / school knowledge and understanding, simple things count. So if that was my history teacher giving me the slides for the next lesson, almost swore it again. Yeah, thank you. Honestly, thank you. So if that's my history teacher giving me slides for the next lesson, or if I had a double lesson, the slides that I would see. And one thing that didn't really help was my geography teacher going, to be honest, she was actually like really pregnant. So what happened to you? And then I had to break it down, explain to her what an acquired brain injury was. Yeah, so literally just simple changes matter. Also, learn about ABIs. Honestly, if my geography teacher knew what ABIs were, honestly, I wouldn't have had to stress. Can you get training? Yes, you can. What am I going to say? All I really, check in, listen, adapt. That's very important for all teachers. Do you know what my number one thing at the end of my teacher approved slides was? Don't assume that all students are like me. Some could be in a wheelchair and can't do anything. To be honest, I was actually quadriplegic for 7 months. When I got used to using my arms, legs, and all my body, then I was better. However, it didn't help because I was still going. Yes, thank you. Don't be afraid to. I don't know why I'm speaking again. Don't be afraid to ask for support in schools. Share information. For example, there was no direct link between my hospital and my school, so that's what we first campaigned for. Yes. Then ask school to look at funding and support options. I was the first disabled child in my family, meaning that my parents literally had no clue. My dad didn't know what an HCP was, even though he dealt with it. Just ask. Thank you. You can apply, for an EHCP and request for a CYP. to be on Senke, register so they can be monitored. Ask your rehab team or charities to offer training for teachers. CBIT, TTC, also Stroke Association. Suggest teachers access some of the freely available free CBD training online, i.e. Twinkle, NASEN, also CBIT.
School is everything at that time of your life. It needs to be right. Victoria 2025.
Amelia 2025. Yeah, these are some like helpful links if you want to like take a picture, then go on later. Thank you. Oh, okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That's really enlightening. I had the absolute pleasure of sharing a stage with Victoria and Amelia in a parliamentary reception down in Westminster a month or two back, and I can tell you now that you had everybody on the edge of their seats listening to every word, as you have done today, because to stand up in front of an audience and to stand to speak in Parliament takes such courage, and yet you two would do it with such integrity and openness and honesty that it really does make a difference. So huge well done to you both.
Also, any questions? Are we allowed to do that? Yes,
my
any
job.
questions?
As she said, any questions for Victoria and Amelia? If I ask you, I'm going to put you on the spot here. If you had one question or one demand to put to politicians, and you can be as blunt as you like.
Yeah, I will be.
What would you say if you had one thing to demand of politicians, either here in Scotland or down in Westminster?
Teach schools what ABIs are.
I think I was going to say just teaching, just awareness, just having awareness of it in schools, because teachers and schools don't know about brain injury until a student rocks up with one, and then I sort of just stuck with what to do. My school had the whole of the summer before I came back in September to learn to have classes, but some schools teachers just rock up after maybe a Sunday rugby match. Someone's got a concussion and they don't get told.
Concussions are actually an ABI as well, by the way.
They don't get told on the Monday, and the student will just rock up with an ABI, and teachers don't know how to do it and just think they're being lazy.
And for your school then, in that situation, was it just the teachers that had the learning about your brain injury, or did they spend time educating your classmates and the rest of your school, the other students?
So, Amelia, who was my psychologist at the time, offered to come into school and talk to my friends, which she did, and that, to be honest, helped them understand. But for me, I think, as I wasn't able to talk, socially, I wasn't very in it, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. So, although they had the knowledge, that you can't, at that age, you can't say to someone, you've got to be friends with this person, because that just doesn't happen. At the age of 14, 15, 16,
I'll be honest, it doesn't happen. When you're 49, it doesn't change much either. I mean, that much to me.
So they can have all the knowledge and information, but going to an all-girls school, it doesn't happen.
From my point of view, so my parents were like, hi, so what has happened is Amelia had an acquired brain injury. My school obviously didn't know what that was. Like a few Senkos knew what that was, including like the heads of departments, but no one else knew. So I actually got a fact. So monthly, my mum would always have to go with these meetings with my teacher, who would tell her everything that I was doing wrong. And when I went to college, to be honest, college was actually such a big change. when I went to parents' evening, we actually sat down with my teacher and she went, so here's everything Amelia's doing right. Oh my God, my mum was like literally in tears. I was like, Mum, stop it, calm down. I'm different college now. She was like, it's just so nice. And I was like, yes, I know. Stop crying. Don't make me look like a special person. Calm down. Yeah, so literally, just like, honestly, education. Do you know what? Even teachers don't know everything. So I feel like, I know. I feel like when you teach something, that's actually very beneficial. Because on the end of the day, no one knows everything. Unless, obviously, you're God.
Do you have any other questions? Just before, one more for me. I think. What's next for you? What are your ambitions? So Victoria, you mentioned that you're working on a stroke ward.
Yes.
And I'd love to hear what your ambitions are for the future, and ask the same to Amelia.
Yeah, I think for me, working on a stroke ward, I love it because I'm working with people with a brain injury. And for me, it helps. Well, I get told I'm such a vital member of the team because not everyone, all the other therapists haven't experienced a brain injury like I have. I can say to my stroke patient, look, I've been there, I've done what you're doing now, and they can see the evidence to how it matters, really. But I think for me, where I want to get into paediatrics. I want to work with
No influence there from the front row.
I want to work with children who, like myself, had a brain injury, and I can really understand what they're going through, and like be a role model, maybe not a role model, but just
Big yourself up.
But then I find it's more helpful for parents to see that the child can come through after an injury.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. And Amelia, what about yourself?
So at the minute, I'm like at the UCAS portion of my life, meaning I don't know if I want to do more with ABIs or YEBEABI or just like go into forensics.
That's quite a
No, big change. So
Be a student, go into forensics.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't know why it didn't say that at the start. Amelia Jones, forensics.
Yeah, it's got a lovely ring to it, Amelia. And then you
Also, we're hoping to get a debate in Parliament about brain injuries.
Yep.
They're hoping to go to that to hopefully raise more awareness.
Yes.
No.
Need to say more. So in terms, I could go on forever.
The floor is yours.
So in terms of ABIs, I think there is still more work that can be done. But in terms of my personal career, I don't mind. Literally, I can't write for anything, meaning that I literally have to type things in ChatGPT, then get answers. I kid you not.
Adaptive technology, whatever works.
That gets brought up. Yeah, you can't do that at uni.
No. Well, is there any way that... maybe I shouldn't go to university.
I am quite sure that both of you will be successful, whatever you put your minds to, because your determination and to achieve whatever you want to achieve is clear for us all to see. So I'd like to ask a massive round of applause for these two wonderful young people. Well done, both of you. Thank you.